Hi everybody, Joe from Flowfuse here to give you a quick run through of our new blueprint available on Flowfuse now for OpenAI RAG agents. We have two examples here. We have a local file which has been hard coded in just to show you how this can work. You can just copy and paste your own content just to get a nice and quick up and running example going. This is the material here that has already been loaded, so I can ask questions about that. And what happens here is that we have a vector store saved in Node-RED that is loading that content. We parse that content, pass context to our agent, and our agent then responds back with an appropriate answer. That's just using the single local file just to kind of get started. The more complex example here is where we can actually pass in a full sitemap, and in this case we're going to pass it the Flowfuse sitemap. We're going to start loading that content up, and this is actually not just going to load the whole website, it also then filters just on the documentation on Flowfuse. So I will then be able to ask it questions about Flowfuse as a product once this content gets loaded. The way this works is we store the vectorized version of this content, so we chunk it up, store it in a vector store in Node-RED's context store, and then when I ask a question, for example, what are snapshots, we pass that vector store. The vector store comes back and says, okay, we're getting a query about snapshots. Here's some relevant content that I think might be relevant for that. That gets passed to our agent, and then our agent comes back with our response, which in this case details that snapshots are how Flowfuse do our version control, capturing points of time, and it actually also links off to some documentation, which is good because it's used the context that we found from our vector store. So now I can ask questions about Flowfuse documentation and get information about that, and you can load in any sitemap here that you want to get going, and feel free to then dive into the whole flow itself to then be able to go and customize this to any use case that you want. So all available on Flowfuse Cloud right now. And can't wait to see what you build.